Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Patrick. Today I'm going to show you how you can access the database and retrieve the data from the database. Alright, so let me switch to Windows. Okay, this is where we left off from last lecture. Okay, so these are two records that we are actually populating, but is kind of fixed. So what we want to do today is to pull the same data from database. Okay, so inside here I have already populated the two data. Okay, two data into the database. All right, so you can use the Heady SQL to populate the data. All right, so these are the two data. So I'm going to pull this data and display something like this. Okay, right now it's a fixed data. You can't really edit it, or can't really add new record or anything. Nothing yet. Okay, so first of all I need to delete one of it. Okay, so I will delete one of it and I will leave this all empty so that I can pull it from the database. Alright, so if you are still remember, we have a database access during our previous lecture, right over here. So this is our database access code. Okay, so we want this code, but we don't want to copy it everywhere. Okay, we want to keep it inside a file. Okay, so we try to copy it and then we try to create a new file and paste it over here. Okay, but we don't want to echo anything, okay, unless it's a failure. Okay, so we try to save it. Okay, save it as MySQL, for example. You can save it at anything. Okay, so we try to save it. PHP. Okay, let's open up the file and see what we have here. See Zum htdocs. Okay, this is the root folder of the of our application, MySQL. All right. Oh, so let's not forget about this PHP tag. The closing tag you might not be using, but I'm always using it to make the whole thing clearer. Okay, this is the code that we want to include in our tests. Yeah. Okay, so we want to include it over here so that we have all the database connection. Okay, we try to include it here. Okay, so we try to open it and include once. Okay, so we try to make a database connection over here so that it connects to the database and we are ready to pull the data. Okay, so we want to populate the data over here. Okay, oops. So first of all, we need to issue a SQL statement. So it's a select statement. Select star. This means that select everything. Okay, everything of the database, the table. You have 3 fields or 4 fields over here. Okay, 4 fields over here. So you want everything. So if in case you want only certain field like student name, ID, name, and also class. Okay, class. Okay, what is this backtick actually? Okay, because MySQL treats some words as reserved words. Okay, MySQL treats some words as reserved word. So you need to have this backtick to tell MySQL that this is actually not a preserved word, but instead is a field name, right? From student. Okay, so student is a student ID and student no need to be in backtick because it's not a reserved word in MySQL. Okay, all right, so that is about all. So we select only 3 fields out of 4 fields. Okay, so we exclude the ID field. We don't want to use it, right? Or we will use it later. Okay, so we issue a SQL statement. Of course, we need to execute it. Okay, so we are calling query. So we are using this connection and the SQL. So where is connection actually? Sorry, connection is over here. Okay, oh sorry, it's con, actually it's con. So it's con. Okay, this variable is coming from this file and this one. So this is actually a class instance. Okay, this is a class, new, whatever, MySQL I. So this is a class. So we are trying to call this from a instance, a class instance. So we already included over here, right? So this will execute the whole thing, and we try to get the num row out of it. Okay, this is how we get num row. So the num row meaning that how many rows are returned from MySQL. Okay, so if num row is greater than 0, meaning that there is record. If there is record, actually this one has to be can also lah. It depends on how you want to do it lah. So if num row is greater than 0, then only do this part. Otherwise, right? So else part. Okay. So if num row is greater than this one, so you have to while. So this is how you retrieve data from MySQL using PHP. Oh, sorry. Okay. So this is a loop, right? While is a loop, right? Okay. So it's closing here. Oh, what is that? So there's a parse error. So this should be a closing tag first. All right. Okay. So this is a while loop. So inside here is a while loop, right now. So it will populate this 2 times because we have 2 records. Okay. All right. So if it is else, then what we should do? So maybe we should echo something. So this is a table, right? Table is a table. So there is a row already, right? 4 rows or 4 columns. Sorry. So right. So we try to echo the same thing, right? So you can do it this way also, no problem. Okay. But right here we have only 1 column because we want to display the error, the message. Sorry, the message. Right. So td column span equals to 4. Okay. So we try to use a single quote because a double quote will confuse the PHP, or you need to escape it. It will make the code much unreadable. Okay, so you use single quote, will be easier to read. Okay, no record found, something like that. Right? So because it's else part, right? So we are comparing whether there is a record or not. If there is a record, then look through the records. Otherwise, display no record found, something like that. All right. So we want to try to make it how to say, small character as well. text small and also bold. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay, so that's it for else. Okay, so we want to have so we try to echo row and the student ID, right? First column is student ID, so we have to follow this one. Student ID, name, class. Okay, so we have for echo over here, right? Name and class. All right. So let's see what we have. Okay, so we try to refresh, and it displays exactly the same, right? Because we are populating the same data from database now, right? So did you see any STUI in this code anymore? Just go and find it. There's no STUI, right? Where did the STUI comes from? It comes from database. All right. So that is how PHP is being embedded inside a HTML file. All right. So today's lesson until here. All right. So if you like my video, please hit the like button, share my video, and subscribe to my channel. Remember to turn on all notifications. All right. See you then. Okay. Bye bye. Thank you.